Hello, and welcome to the English Deep Dive. I am so glad you are here today, because we are going to master one of the most subtle and powerful skills in the English language: tone. Have you ever been in a situation where you spoke perfect English, your grammar was correct, your words were right, but the other person looked uncomfortable? Perhaps you sounded too formal with your friends, making you look cold or robotic. Or worse, perhaps you sounded too informal with your boss, making you look disrespectful or immature. This is the tone trap. In British culture, how you say something is often more important than what you say. We use different registers of English for different social situations. It is like having two different wardrobes, one for the office and one for the pub. If you wear a tuxedo to a picnic, it's weird. If you wear pajamas to a job interview, it's a disaster. Today, we are going to perform linguistic surgery on your social and business etiquette. This is a 40-minute intensive masterclass on formal versus informal English. We will learn how to choose the right greetings, how to make polite requests, and how to express opinions diplomatically. Then, we will dive into a massive 60-sentence shadowing marathon to train your social reflex. Finally, we will listen to a story about a day in London where we switch between these two worlds. Are you ready to master the British tone? Let's begin. Part 1. Greetings and farewells. Beyond the textbook. In school, you learned hello, how are you, and goodbye. But in real life, this is just the beginning. In a formal setting, like a meeting or a presentation, we use structure. Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to meet you. In an informal setting, like meeting a friend for coffee, we use rhythm. Hiya! How's it going? Long time no see. Let's practice 10 comparison pairs to warm up. First, I will say the formal version, then the informal one. Shadow both. Formal. Good morning. I hope you are well. Informal. Morning. Everything all right with you? Formal. I look forward to our meeting later. Informal. See you later. Can't wait. Formal. It has been a pleasure meeting you. Informal. Great to meet you. Take care. Formal. I must depart now. I have another engagement. Informal. I'd better head off. I'm a bit tied up. Formal. Please give my regards to your manager. Informal. Say hi to the boss for me. Part 2. The art of the request. Softening the blow. British English is famous for being indirect. We don't like to give orders. We like to ask for things in a way that gives the other person a choice, even if they don't really have one. Informal. Can you pass me the sugar? Formal. I was wondering if you could possibly pass me the sugar, please. Notice the layers of politeness. We use words like possibly, happen to, and wondering to make our requests softer. In the office, this makes you sound professional and sophisticated. Let's practice 10 request upgrades. Informal. Give me that report. Formal. Would you mind sending me the report when you have a moment? Is less than #6. 5# is greater than. Informal. I want a coffee. Formal. Could I possibly grab a coffee, please? Informal. Can I sit here? Formal. Do you happen to know if this seat is taken? Informal. Tell me the time. Formal. I was wondering if you had the time, please. Informal. Help me with this bag. Formal. I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but could you lend me a hand? Part 3. Expressing opinions. Diplomatic versus direct. In an informal setting, you can be direct. I don't like that idea. In a professional setting, being that direct can sound aggressive or rude. We use diplomatic English to disagree without starting a fight. Instead of, "You're wrong," we say, "I'm not entirely sure I agree with that point." Instead of, "That's a bad idea," we say, "To be fair, that might be a bit of a long shot." Let's practice 10 diplomatic phrases. I see where you are coming from, but I have a different perspective. I'm afraid I'm not entirely convinced by those figures. To be perfectly honest, I think we should look at the big picture. I appreciate your input. However, I'm inclined to disagree. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the deadline Friday? That sounds like a fantastic idea, but is it sustainable? I was wondering if we could try a slightly different approach. I'm not in a position to comment on that at the moment. It's not exactly rocket science, but it does require focus. I'll definitely bear your suggestions in mind for the future. Part 4. The Master Shadowing Marathon. Now, we enter the core of our workout. We are going to practice 60 sentences divided into two halves. The first half is the professional office, formal. The second half is the social pub, informal. This is the gym for your social muscles. Copy my pitch and my rhythm. Let's begin. Section A. Professional and formal. I'd like to kick off the meeting by reviewing the agenda. Could you please clarify your position on the new budget? I'll get back to you by the end of play with a full update. We need to make sure we are all on the same page before we proceed. I'm happy to take the lead on this particular project. Let's touch base later this afternoon to discuss the details. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it to the presentation. To be fair, the timeline for this delivery is quite tight. I'm struggling to get my head around the new legal requirements. It goes without saying that your feedback is vital to us. I'm really looking forward to our collaboration this year. I'm absolutely spent after that 5-hour board meeting. We should prioritize quality over quantity in this case. I'm confident that we can find a compromise that works. I'll definitely bear your suggestions in mind during the review. It's a bit of a long shot, but it might just work. I was completely taken aback by the sudden change in policy. Shall we call it a day and finish the rest tomorrow? I'm absolutely swamped with emails at the moment. Sorry. It was a pleasure doing business with you today. Section B. Social and informal. Hiya! How have you been keeping lately? Long time no see. What have you been getting up to? Do you fancy grabbing a pint after work tonight? I'm over the moon that you finally moved to London. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with my new job. Honestly, I haven't given it much thought yet. To be honest, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. Gosh, the weather is absolutely miserable, isn't it? Tell me about it. I'm absolutely soaked to the bone. I'm really looking forward to our trip to the seaside. I've been meaning to call you all week. I'm so sorry. I felt a bit down in the dumps yesterday, but I'm better now. It's a bit of a touchy subject, so let's talk about something else. Take care of yourself and have a safe journey home. I'm perfectly content with a quiet night in and a movie. I was blown away by how good that new restaurant was. It's not exactly rocket science. You'll figure it out. I'm just popping to the shops. Do you need anything? I really need to get round to cleaning my flat this weekend. Cheers for the chat. Let's do it again soon. Part 5. Story Mode. A Day of Two Halves. Now, let's put it all together. Listen to this story about our friend, Sophie. Yesterday, Sophie had a day that perfectly demonstrates the two sides of English. In the morning, Sophie was at the office. She had a meeting with a very serious client. She used her formal wardrobe. She said, "Good morning, everyone. I'd like to kick off by reviewing our progress. To be fair, we have had some challenges, but I'm confident we will succeed. I was wondering if anyone had questions about the budget." The client was impressed. Sophie sounded professional, articulate, and reliable. She was in her position, and she owned it. In the evening, Sophie went to a pub in Soho to meet her best friend, Jack. As soon as she walked in, she switched to her informal wardrobe. She didn't say, "Good evening, Jack." She said, "Jack? Long time no see. I'm absolutely knackered after that meeting. I need a drink. Do you fancy a burger? I'm starving." They spent the night laughing and talking about their lives. Sophie said, "I'm over the moon about my new flat, but the rent costs an arm and a leg." Sophie realized that her textbook English was just a tool. She knew when to be serious and when to be relaxed. She was not a robot. She was a native speaker in spirit. Part 6. The Context Check Quiz. Let's check your reflex. I will say a sentence, and you have 2 seconds to decide. Is it formal or informal? Then I will give you the answer. Hiya. Everything all right? Informal. I was wondering if you could possibly assist me. Formal. I'm absolutely chuffed with the result. Informal and very British. I'll get back to you by the end of play today. Formal office talk. I'm afraid I have to disagree with you there. Formal. Diplomatic. No worries. These things happen. Informal. Casual. Conclusion. Excellent work today. You have just completed a massive masterclass on the social etiquette of British English. You have practiced 60 sentences and learned how to switch between your formal and informal wardrobes. Remember, fluency is not just about words. It is about context. The more you practice switching your tone, the more you will sound like a real person and less like a textbook. I have a small task for you. Write 2 sentences in the comments. 1 formal request for your boss and 1 informal greeting for your friend. I will read them and help you refine your tone. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the English Deep Dive, and share this with a friend who is struggling with their social confidence. I am so proud of your dedication today. Keep practicing, stay mindful of your tone, and just keep diving deep. I will see you in our next lesson. Goodbye for now.